What's going on, everybody? You are now tuned in to the Triple M Boxing Channel, your source for all your boxing needs. Last Saturday, it was a historic event, both on the other side of the world and in North America. On the other side of the world, we got Usyk versus Dubois. And wow, Usyk shut it all out. Last fight it was a low blow. It wasn't a low blow, but this fight, there were no low blows, only KOs. Unbelievable performance. I was quite shocked that was going to happen. We both knew that going into this fight that Dubois was not going to win by outboxing Usyk. And what happened? It turned out to be the opposite. Usyk ended up KOing Dubois. What was your reaction to that fight, man? Because that was just, to me, insane.
It was super one-sided. We coming into this fight, we know Dubois had the momentum. He was beating guys. He was knocking out guys. Herkovic, after he lost to Usyk, he knocked out Herkovic. He knocked out Joshua his last fight. He was on the come up, and we thought that he had all the confidence. He was home. He's in London, and we thought that's his chance of beating Usyk. Because he was, I thought he was at the top of his game, or he still could be. Right? It just turned out that Usyk was just that much better. In rematches, he does well. He does way better. Not way better, but he always does better. That's because he's already downloaded you. From the start, man. Round one, he was already establishing that jab. Usyk was already busy, and Dubois already looked shook. That's why when I saw that, I'm like, the only chances of Dubois winning this fight is if he actually catches Usyk. Usyk didn't give him that chance, man. So shout outs to Usyk. Always. People call him the road warrior because he always goes to your backyard and beats you, man. 90,000 people in Wembley is ridiculous. They put for them to draw that crowd and for them to be yelling Usyk says a lot, because Usyk is not from London. It was Dubois, but they're all yelling Usyk during the fight. So shout outs to Usyk. Right now he is my number one pound for pound. In a way, Crawford tied for 2, but obviously if Crawford beats Canelo, it's not a debate. But right now, Usyk is my number one pound for pound. I still believe that he should retire now because, like I said, what else is there? 3-time undisputed champion. There's really nothing to win. Right? Like, you're already at the top of your game. So I think it's just time to retire now. But Usyk is Usyk. He said he's just, he might, I'm rooting for him, man. But what are your thoughts?
I thought it was, I have to agree with you there, man. I thought it was a pretty one-sided fight, to be honest. As soon as that first knockdown happened, I'm like, oh, there goes Dubois, au revoir, right? And and after he took him out, I was just thinking to myself, like, what's next, right? Like, who else are you gonna fight this time, right?
They're saying Joseph Parker. Like I said, these are just all the mandatories now. Like, because you're in the top of your game. Like I said, it's only just gonna be down from here. But Usyk is Usyk. He said he's gonna keep fighting, and we'll keep watching though. It's Usyk, man.
Yeah, it was a great performance, nevertheless, man. And he really showed that he's the number one in the heavyweight division for a reason. So, man, kudos to him. I'm excited to see what else he got, but I think he should retire.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
That's the next move, man. But moving on to the North American side of things, last Saturday, again, historical event. But we'll start off with the first fight on the main card, which was Brandon Figueroa versus Joey Gonzalez. I'll start with this one. I'll be honest. When seeing
I thought he
Figueroa's last fight, yeah, same here. I thought so too, and I was like, he's just fighting the same way. He doesn't learn. He only knows one way to fight.
Yeah, that's why I think he lost, because Joey was fighting the same way, but he was doing it better, in my opinion. Nevertheless, he got the win. He's gonna get bigger fights, but he needs to improve. the pressure that it's not even that he needs to improve. He needs to be back to his old self. He doesn't like Figueroa doesn't seem like his old self, because that guy was actually hurting people. That guy was piecing you up. He threw 1,000 punches, yes, but he didn't land. He only landed like about 15% of his punches. Get back to the 25 to 30% range, and actually hurting people. I think that'll take him to places again. Maybe a world title shot,
Maybe, man, but yeah, he has to make some changes, because, like, I'll be honest, bro, if I stepped in there with him and he's hitting me with some of those shots, I'd be like, man, that's nothing. You just pitter tapper from the inside, you know what I mean? But
always keeps doing that. It used to be powerful. That's what I'm saying. Now it's just tippy taps. But there's a lot of room for improvement again, and he's done it before, so he should be doing it again. Like, we'll see. We'll see his next fight.
hopefully he improves, man. And the next fight, I'll be honest with this one, I wasn't that impressed. Usyk Cruz versus Omar Salcido. Last minute replacement. Cool, Usyk Cruz won. But was there any significant moments? Yeah, in like the last round. But other than that, man, besides Usyk Cruz's aggressiveness and his pressure, I don't know if he has the power. I'm gonna say it, bro.
I don't think he's a real. I don't think he's a real 140 pounder. That's what it is. I think he should move back down to 135. But I think it's because he was going to fight Angel Ferreira. That's why it's at 140. But I don't think that fight's ever going to happen again, just because Angel Ferreira didn't make weight. What makes you think he's going to move back down to 135, or even just move back down to 140 again? Yeah, I agree. It's just typical Pitbull fight. Him just trying to knock you out every round. But he got the win. Well deserved, unanimous decision. But yeah, in my opinion, I think he should move back down to 135. There's a lot of fighters in 135. 140 is cool. If you're going to stay there, I don't think he does. You're right. I think he has the power, but he has the volume. So he can compete. He has a chin. But for him to be a world champion, I think 135 is the move. But if he stays at 140, now you got to face the likes of maybe Tszyu, Subriel, maybe Pacquiao's even big. So yeah, we'll see we'll see where he goes. Nevertheless, he got the win. He'll be fighting again for sure.
Yeah, and now the next fight, man. This is the fight I was waiting for a long time.
Me too.
Sebastian Fundora versus Tszyu. Unbelievable performance by Sebastian Fundora. I'll be honest, man. I thought Tszyu going into this fight, he has a lot to prove. Obviously, he does, right? But Fundora shocked the world. He shocked us.
Yeah.
He put out Tszyu, they threw in the towel.
Yeah, it's not like a one punch knockout where Tszyu's done. No, Tszyu said no. That says a lot. Tszyu is a warrior. I love Tszyu, man. I wish him well. I know he's gonna come back from this. But one thing about Fundora, man, is I think he's getting close to his prime. He's only 27, 26.
Young.
He's not even there yet. He used to be just a inside fighter, and he's usually just thugs it out on the inside. He never likes fighting on the outside. But that fight has proven a lot, because he didn't obviously he fought on the inside, but he was using his length. He was busy with the jabs and the straights. Tszyu couldn't get in. He was having a hard time to get in, and that's essentially why Tszyu said no, because he wasn't able to get him in, and he was getting caught in that mid range. I keep telling him to not telling him, but I was like, Tszyu kept staying on that mid range where Fundora just pummels him before he gets in, because I know he's trying to get in. But shout out to Fundora, man. He's improved in this fight, and I think he's, like I said, he's closing into his prime years, which makes him more dangerous, because he's alive. Actually, he is the champion, right? He's a live dog against all these guys, against the Virgils, against the Xander, against maybe Bud if he comes back. Who else? Against the Bohachuks, the Madramovs, Boots. It's at 154 now. So this division is crazy. And then, I can't wait. Fundora's on top, and he's going to be super, super hard to beat. even these guys, because he's just way taller than all these guys. Man. He's towering over all of them.
Bro, he's not only like tall, but like big.
Yeah, and he's powerful.
Yeah, if you know what I mean.
Come on.
Like reach wise, bro, this guy's he's literally gonna be a problem in the division because like someone that tall with that long of a reach and he knows how to both fight on the outside, fight on the
And
inside.
inside, yeah.
Bro, unstoppable.
He's down to do both. Like,
Oh,
good luck getting by this. If you do, then now he has this. So that's what makes him so dangerous. And he has the power. We know he has the power. You know, a guy like Boots, obviously he's going to be flashy. But then again, we don't know Boots at 154. Madrimov is tough, but he doesn't throw as much. Virgil has a good chance. You know, that'll be fireworks because they'll for sure throw hands. Obviously, Bud, Bohachuk will be good too, but Bohachuk is a good inside fighter. He has to get in. So, like I said, there's a lot of big fights for Tszyu, and I think 154 is the new glamour division of boxing right now because everyone's there, man. We still have to keep Thurman, obviously Tszyu, maybe Errol Spence. So there's a lot of live dogs that put up a good fight.
it's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be fun. I just want to see Fundora just keep. It'd be crazy to see Fundora undisputed, wouldn't that? That'd be nuts if he was able to do it.
Too. He can collect all of them. He can definitely do it, man. And a lot of people will try to stop him. That's what makes it good. So I can't wait for the 154 division again.
It'll be insane. Now the main event of the evening, our hometown hero, Manny Pacquiao versus Mario Barrios. What are your thoughts on this fight, bro? I have mixed feelings.
Me too. When I was watching it live, to be honest, I thought Mario Barrios won close. The reason why is because the last 3 rounds, Pacquiao was tired. Let's be honest. Call a spade a spade. Like Pacquiao was exhausted. Although the veteran in him knew how to pace, those last 3 rounds, but he didn't win. In my opinion, he didn't win the last 3 rounds, which it was a close fight, which I gave Mario Barrios the last 3, so made it 7-5. I'm not mad at the draw. I'm not mad at Pacquiao 7-5 because it truly indeed was a close fight, except for the last 3, just in my opinion. But what I'll say is this, man. I'm 46 years old with 4 years off, 2 months of training. He did all he could. But people are saying, oh, the old Pacquiao is back. The speed is back. No, that's not the case. Definitely not. The old Pacquiao is back. Mario Barrios is out in 3 rounds. The power, yes. I believe that is still there. But obviously, Pacquiao was just fighting in spurts. Again, the veteran moving him. But obviously, the speed isn't as, I expected that. Speed wasn't there. The footwork was it was enough. But what I can say in this fight is I know Pacquiao gave his all, and it was a great performance, especially for a 46-year-old. But I know Mario Barrios, he didn't give his all. He didn't. He I don't know why. He said it's the power, but he seemed like he was holding back. Either he's scared to get hurt and countered, or he was just giving him too much respect. That's just my opinion. Although it was a good fight, I'm not mad at the draw. It just sucks getting a draw because now what? You know what I mean? They could have chosen the winner. I wouldn't matter if you say Barrios. Wouldn't matter if you say Pacquiao. A draw. But I guess a draw is a draw. But yeah, that's just my opinion, man. I thought Manny did okay, coming back at 46. But I really think Mario Barrios could have given more. But what do you think?
Yeah, man, I agree 100%. Bro, there's just way too much respect. Every round.
I think that's a veteran move, though. Yeah, I think that's the veteran in Pacquiao. He keeps doing this, and he keeps doing this, up.
Yeah.
Even though he's getting hit to the body. But Mario Barrios fell for it.
Yeah, he did. But at the same time, bro, if I was in Mario Barrios' position and I was fighting a legend like Manny Pacquiao, who I know he's the way older fighter. He hasn't fought in 4 years. What am I doing? bro, I'm knocking the legend out. Bro, 100%. You have the cardio, you have the youth, you have the strength.
He has
Bro,
all the
knock his
advantages
ass
except for
out. Yeah.
experience. He's
Yeah. Like,
active.
bro, dude, at this, like, and I'm going to be the dirtiest fighter too. You know, every time Pacquiao says, bring it up, bro, I'm knocking him out right there.
Yeah, punch him again.
Yeah. Like, why didn't you? There's way too much respect. He respected Manny Pacquiao way too much. It seemed like he didn't really give it his 100%.
Absolutely.
Right? It just I thought it was just weird. If
They
you
threw
if you
this,
if you provide an opportunity like that, bro, no, come on.
especially in the biggest stage of your career. You know, like obviously Manny Pacquiao is a legend, but this is your time to say, you know what, legend, it's over. You know, it's my time now. But turned out that Manny Pacquiao almost said, you know what, it's still me. Almost. Hell, people can argue that he did. You know, that's still a win for Pacquiao. Having, you know, a draw against a guy that's active, that's 16 years younger than you, that's a world champion after 4 years off, I think that's a win. You know,
Yeah.
Mario Barrios, where does he go from here? If Pacquiao doesn't give him the rematch, no one will. He's probably just going to end up getting knocked out next fight. You know, like who else is there to fight? You know, Rolly is now the champ. He's elevated to a champion, so I guess that's a good fight. But like other than the Pacquiao rematch, or maybe Rolly, like who else are you gonna fight? There's really no other big money fights out there for you. Not Rolly's not even gonna be a big money fight. So I think, you know, it's that fight was more of Barrios dictating the fight of who was going to be the winner, and he was underwhelming. On the other hand, Pacquiao was, you know, I think his performance exceeded my expectations. For him to last 12 rounds, you know, after 4 years is, you know, it was amazing. It was amazing to see him back there. And it's just, it gave me goosebumps, you know, when he walked in the ring. It was all nostalgic, except for the performance, you know, although, you know, it's still a good performance in my end, but I'm just going to say it is like, if you don't get the Mario Barrios rematch, like in my opinion, I don't even want to see you rematch Mario Barrios. I think it's
Just retire, yeah.
it's a good
That's all it
performance.
is.
16 fights in the MGM. He got the banner, but I think that's it, man. But you know, Pacquiao said he's going to keep fighting, and this is the thing. He's a warrior because people wanted to. Usually, all the greats, they got to get taken out. They got to get shown the door. But Mario Barrios almost gave him a win, so I think that's he's gonna fight again, man, until someone does.
Yeah, and now let me ask you this, man, because you know obviously the crowd was pro Pacquiao, and every time Pacquiao would do his spurts, everyone would go absolutely crazy. Okay, let's say it was a Mario Barrios pro crowd, and no one was there for Manny Pacquiao. Do you think the judges would have scored it differently and gave Mario Barrios the win?
100%.
Right?
100%. I was gonna say all the veteran moves that Pacquiao did, smart, truly veteran move. He was playing. He was using the crowd to his advantage. He was fighting in spurts, but every time he fights, it the crowd's reaction makes it seem like it's 2 times or all of his punches hit. I know as a judge, you tune that out, but it doesn't matter because I bet you they're all so loud that it just it still gives you that little bit of a push to give that round to Pacquiao. Pacquiao every last 10 seconds he empties the tank, you know, and again that's a veteran move. The first 31st minute he doesn't fight. But after that, you know, that's where he steps on the gas because, like I said, a veteran in Pacquiao, he knew that he won't be able to fight 3 minutes for the whole 12 rounds. He fought in spurts, and every time he does, he fought in moments. And every time Mario Barrios comes in, he says up or he daps him up. That's just those are the little things that he did to make the fight close. Like I said, kudos to him. He did all he could to win the fight. And you know, it just wasn't enough, unfortunately. But he did. Like I said, he gave his 100%, not just with his body, but all his veteran moves he pulled, man, and it worked.
Yeah, it really did, man. But let us know what you guys think in the comment section below, man. Do you think Usyk should retire? Do you think he should have a rematch with Dubois? I don't think
No,
so. Do you think Tim Tszyu is going to be back better than ever? Do you think Manny Pacquiao should still continue? Let us know what you guys think in the comment section below. And until next time, guys, we're the opposite of in. Mabuhay.